Hey guys, Leroy Diesel. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. So what I've got here is a new product for you guys, and this is going to be the fuel system priming tool. This will aid you to prime your fuel system. For example, when you're putting in a new fuel system, such as our Raptor BCD kit, the FASS kits, anytime you have a dry system, the pumps really need to be primed and full of fuel before you turn them on. It just helps them so you don't burn them out in the first 30 seconds of life. So what we're making is this cap right here. Got the Leroy Diesel 6.5 on it. What you're going to do is obviously remove your factory one, your fuel cap. Screw that in there. It screws in just like your cap does. Snug it up pretty good. What I've got here is a Makita that I can set down really low pressure, although I've been experimenting with it and it's taking about 12 psi on the Makita. So the idea here is we're going to force air pressure into the tank. Don't put too much pressure in there because you don't want to expand your tank. So keep the pressure as low as possible. And I really don't know what the technical limit would be. So that is at your own risk, but I would say don't go over maybe 15 pounds max. And if you hear anything, any bumping or stretching, anything like that, just back off the pressure. And if you need to immediately release the pressure, you just, open up, crack open the tool here. So anyway, I'm going to snug it back down. The O-ring is seated. Let's put this on here, see if I can do this with one hand without the pump falling down on me. Sorry for the camera work here. Okay, had to do that. So I've got my tool, and you could even use a bicycle pump, and that would work also. It would just take you a while to pump up that pump. So what we've got here. Before I do this, so I've got a little pressure in there now. But what we need to do up front here is on this truck, I have a screw-on fuel filter system. It's different than the FFM like you see over there. I'll show you that in a second. Really, I don't even recommend this type of fuel filter, except for the top 1% of guys out there who might be running over 350 horse. You really don't need it. This is 1/2-inch hose. It's way overkill if you got pretty much a stock truck or something mildly performance. And then again, it's just up to you. A lot of people just want to have something like this. So what I have done is this hose, one of these is the in, one's the out. It's not that important right now. This one's the in, this one's the out, going to the injection pump. That doesn't matter. But on this particular head, they have on the other side also. So what I did is on the outlet side is I plumbed it into my fuel gauge. It runs off to the dash, and I've got it unplugged or unhooked, and I've got it, let me get in focus, got it into a glass container of fuel here. And so as I pump up the pressure, you can already actually see that it's pumped some fuel in there. But as you pump the tool back there, pump up the tank with some fuel pressure, it's going to force fuel all the way up to this point. Once you see any sign of fuel up here, that means your lines to the tank and everything are full and pretty much ready. You could fire the pump up. If you have my lift pump relay harness, you would just hit the button. This one, a little bit different than the one I manufacture for public or for production. This was one of the prototypes, so it's an on-off switch. I don't want to do that now because it would literally soak me with fuel if I turned it on now. So lost my train of thought though. So going back to this, once you get some fuel showing out of here, then you would hook that back up and then come over here, hit your fuel pump, turn your fuel pump on if you have my relay harness. If you don't, you could get in here and jumper the relay. Whatever method you want to use, turn the fuel pump on. So I'll show you how to do this with the stock FFM. So this would be bolted back there, like that back there, and in between, everybody knows that. And with this one, I have my fuel pressure tap on it. You may have the original bleed screw, looks like that. And all you're gonna do is pump up the pressure again on the back and then come over here, sorry, one hand. And all you gotta do is crack my fuel pressure tap like that. Fuel is gonna come squirting out here. You could also, if you wanted to get real fancy with this fuel pressure tap, is put a T on this, and then one side would go to your gauge, and one side would go to a like a ball valve, and then that would go wherever you want, so you could drain that fuel into a canister, something like that. That's how I used to have this one hooked up until I switched to this guy. So that's it. I mean, I'll go back and show you how it works, but that's it up here. So you want to get this prepped before you start pumping air into the tank. And with the line disconnected, any sort of over pressurization is hopefully just going to come out here, so anyway, but pay attention to how much pressure you're putting in it. So let me go back here again. Let me see what I've got this set at. Right now I've got it on 12 PSI, and you could easily reach that with a bicycle pump. I'm gonna I have a feeling that it's probably gushing fuel out there. It's not going over 9 PSI. Yeah, there's definitely more fuel in here. You see how it's coming out? And that's all you really want to see, is just get some sign of fuel pumping out here, which means that the fuel filter, or in this case over here, the fuel filter would be full because you got fuel coming out the top, therefore the fuel filter is full, and that would mean that the hose is all the way back or full. So that's a description on this product. Again, if you're pumping this up and you start hearing creaks or popping or anything like that, stop the fuel pressure and crack the fuel tank. I mean the cap. Crack this tool loose, and you would just, let's see if you can hear it. Yeah, you could hear all that air pressure release. So if you need to release the pressure because you think you've over pressurized it, just crack that tool back off and it will release immediately. So I'm going to put this all back together, and I just wanted to show you that product. It will be available on the website, and any questions, go to leroydiesel.com. Have a good day.